call to order a meeting for the Normal Town Council for September 2nd, 2025. Please call the roll.
Mayor Coos.
Here.
Mr. Preston.
Here.
Ms. Lorenz.
Here.
Mr. Byers.
Here.
Mr. Auberge. Ms. Smith.
Here.
Mr. McCarthy.
Here.
We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Start with the omnibus agenda tonight. Items considered routine and to be handled with one vote unless a council member would like to pull an item for discussion.
Move approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Items under the omnibus agenda are minutes, approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting of August 18th, 2025. The report to receive and file Town of Normal expenditures for payment as of August 27th, 2025. And a resolution authorizing the extended term of the Municipal Insurance Cooperative Agency risk pool and approving its amended bylaws. Please call the roll.
Mr. Preston.
Aye.
Ms. Lorenz.
Aye.
Mr. Byers. Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy.
Aye.
Mayor Coos.
Aye. Those items are approved. It's a brief meeting tonight. We have no general orders or new business. We do have two public commenters, B. Scanlon and Mike Scanlon. B, if you want to start off. And just to give you our rules of public comment, we ask you state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes. Now, come up and have a seat, and we'll get you on a microphone.
This one?
Anyone will do.
My name is Barbara Scanlon, and I live at 715 North School Street. Am I talking? Okay.
Go ahead. Could you sit down? And
Sure. Okay, thank you. Okay. So we've lived at 715 North School Street since around 2000. And when we first moved there, it was the neighborhood there were a lot of rentals. It was run down. So there were a lot of old professors living in the neighborhood, and they decided the way to protect it from the pressures of basically the school ISU. They had torn down a Queen Anne on Normal Avenue and put apartment buildings there, much to everyone's shock. So that kind of galvanized the community to form the historic district there for Normal Avenue and School Street. So over the years, it's been a real success story for Normal, I think, really. Families have moved in, people have improved their properties, and it's become kind of a hidden gem of nice gardens and affordable family homes, safe neighborhoods. People like to walk there. Students from the school like to walk there. It's a nice place where parents can come and they can see that people actually live in our town. It's not just street after street of apartment buildings. You know, there's a nice, and there are things like during the summer they have flamingo gatherings of the neighbors. So it's kind of an old-fashioned neighborhood, you know, where people have other neighbors on their porches and things. So to get to the point, so we have a situation that's developing where things are looking like they might be succumbing to some of the pressures to become a rental place again. So we have had, I think, 2 Airbnb type short-term residents that have turned into these Airbnb type places. That has turned parts of the neighborhood from being a place where neighbors can say hi to neighbors to a place where you don't know who's there. People are drinking. We had police at the one on School Street last weekend. You just don't, you know, there's that one they're keeping up, but it's just a matter of uncertainty. You don't know if it's going to be sold to a corporate, larger thing in the future. You don't know who's there at any one time. And it's not a single family residence, which this is in, I think it's R2, is it? R1 or R2? I think it's R2 zone, and it's not being kept that way. So next to that house, the house directly next door, which is next door to ours, is 713. That one has, as of last year, turned back into a rental. Originally, supposedly was bought by a father for either his daughter or for his sister, depending who you believe. And but now it's been taken over by Young America as a regular rental property. So this is very concerning because they've already shown signs of not keeping the property up. It's always been a very well maintained property. The weeds are growing up. The grass was up high enough that neighbors were complaining about it. And we're just I just want to express worry on behalf of the neighborhood that how hard we've worked over the years. What a nice neighborhood we've built. Really something for the town of Normal to be proud of. It's at risk of turning back into a shabby apartment neighborhood again, like you see on South School Street. So I think I just want to raise that concern and raise awareness of our worries about our property values potentially going down, our life investment. We're not rich people in this neighborhood.
I'm
We've
going to ask you
invested a lot of
to sum up
ourselves.
your comments. You
Yes.
exceeded
Okay.
your time
Pretty
limit.
much. I think you probably understand where I'm headed with this. I would just like you guys to understand and hopefully, like the town council of the past, back us up, support us, help us keep this a neighborhood. Thank you.
And Mike Scanlon.
This will be short. This is Mike Scanlon. I just found out about this. I was part of the original group that got the Normal and the School Street Historic District going. So I go way back. And part of the reason we did that was, like Barb explained, that we were worried about the encroachment of the college students. More of the has to do with the people that rent the houses than the students. But they were becoming run down. You had groups of people, or they were overpopulated, and we're worried about the rentals that are cropping up in our neighborhoods. That there's lots of cars parked there and everything else like that. They did not take care of their lawn when Young America took over. So that's pretty much what I have all I have to say. Again, I was part of the original group, and part of the reasons we started that was get both school and Normal group together and become a voting block. And we got the historic district going, and everything's been really nice. We've had families move in. There's kids running all over the place, and we're just concerned about what's going to happen. If I don't know what the rules are when people buy or sell houses. We knew the neighbors that sold the house to the people that are renting now, and they said they were told that it was going to go for he was buying it for his sister, and then his kids moved in there, and her friends moved in, and then we had a lot of problems with the parking and stuff. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
I'm going to suggest you meet with Mr. Quiragosa after the meeting. He can tell you what the town can and can't do in the situation and maybe get some better information. Before taking a motion for adjournment, are there concerns? Ms. Lorenz.
Thank you. I do have one concern, although our speaker gives me a second one to maybe say a few words on that. And I also have a compliment at the end, which I will hold to the end. This situation brought up by the speakers tonight was brought to my attention today by some of your neighbors. So I'm glad that you came tonight. I think we need to evaluate some things. We spent a lot of time recently talking about the problems of mixing businesses in residential areas, and thus made some pretty sweeping changes to short-term rentals for reasons that were discussed at length, citing that it was wrong because they're a business. unfortunately, now we have another business that has come into town, or into your neighborhood. They've been in town, come into your neighborhood. And I think we need to suss out how 715 and 713 and 711 are the same or different in terms of being a business. You know, at 711, the grass is being kept, the place is being kept up. We have, at least in the early going, 713, also a business, not doing the same. So I think we just need to look at the complexity of that previous decision that we made and the implications that it has on other businesses. So I'll just leave it at that. The concern that I would like to go with tonight is more around another topic that I think we've gotten reference to, a work session perhaps being in the near horizon on the micromobility, and by that I'm going to cast a large umbrella over e-scooters and electric bicycles. So I look forward, if that in fact is coming soon. You made a reference, I think, City Manager Reese, to that happening soon. I'll just take tonight's moment to say that I am seeing a lot more e-scooters around town, and maybe because college students are in town, on sidewalks, on the Constitution Trail, and on roads, darting in and out of traffic. And yet, to my knowledge, we don't have clear guidelines on whether we have opted in or out of the state laws recently. And if we have, then I'm not sure that we've rolled out that communication very effectively, because I'm not sure when I see these and when people ask me whether or not they're allowed or not. So, you know, are they okay on a trail? Maybe. Are they okay on a sidewalk? Maybe. You know, they're not big and heavy like the way maybe an electric bicycle is. So are they safe on a road? I don't know. My gut instinct says maybe not. So I just am looking for some clarity around that, and perhaps the work session will offer that. Second, on the other branch of micrommobility, as far as the electric bicycles go, I'd like to understand a little bit more, and hopefully this will come to light in the work session, the discussion that's been had so far by a limited group, small group of stakeholders that have held private meetings to understand the survey that they've conducted recently, if the results are back, if so, how long have the results been back, and if we will have a chance to look at those and understand their implications. And on the whole topic of e-bicycles and e-scooters, I hope I'm not leaving anything out in the micromobility world, I just think we need to stay mindful of our own perspectives on these pieces of equipment. Demographically, I know I'm not an e-scooter target, you know, at my stage in life. We all may come with some biases that I think we need to, whether it be about the actual equipment or the people promoting them, I think we need to bring our experiences, our connections that add value, but you know, in the spirit of transparency and public trust, acknowledge if we have some biases and try to set those aside and deal with this issue that is an important issue that we get right, that every community gets right, as these sorts of alternative.
Ms. Lorenz, you've hit your five-minute, actually exceeded your 5-minute limit
May I give a thank you to the police department?
After the meeting.
Very well.
I just wanted to extend a welcome to those individuals who are here attending the 20th meeting of with ARC Community Illinois, and the name of it is Speak Up and Speak Out, and they're over at the Marriott this week. So if you see anyone, be sure to give them a warm welcome on behalf of our community. And it's their 20th year, and they couldn't be more proud.
Mr. McCarthy?
Just real quick, I got a couple of questions over the weekend about the haunted trail, so I had to look it up. It starts, for all those who listen and look forward to that every year, it starts this year on October 16th and runs through the weekend of October 24 and 25. And just look up on the town website for the not so scary versus scary versions. They're different weekends. Thanks, Mayor.
Motion for adjournment?
So,
Please call the roll.
Miss Lorenz,
Aye.
Mr. Byers,
aye.
Miss Smith,
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy,
Aye.
Mr. Preston,
Aye.
Mayor Kus.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.